Hi, Christine. How are you? I was actually thinking about you today. Thank you for joining me. You were on my heart on today, and I'm so glad to have you on board. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing great. Are you still being hoovered? Yeah, I was really thinking about you today. I was thinking about the last time we talked. Are you still being hoovered? Hey, Danielle, how are you? Thank you for joining us, my moderator. I'm so glad you are on board today. Thank you. So, Christina, are you still being hoovered by the narcissist, or have you given up because you resist? I think today is going to be an awesome subject that we're talking about. Many people see the supply, but they don't see sometimes how desperate the narcissist can get. There you go. She said, I haven't heard from him yet. Um, I write things down to see the spiritual pattern. Hmm. And I realize he's been popping up every 8 days through him. Oh, wow. Very, very intentional. That's good that you got that. Wow. Every 8 days. So he got a pattern. So if you know he's every 8 days, he's methodical and being very regimented about that. Okay. So, hello there. How are you, Keiko? Good to have you on board. Thank you so much for joining us on this evening. We have a wonderful topic that we're going to talk about. Hey, Beto, how are you? Thank you. I am glad to see you also. I am just waiting and excited. We got exactly um, 80 minutes that we're going to deal with. My moderator is on. Hello, Raquel. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Irene, how are you? She said, keeping a calendar doesn't help realize the narcissist pattern. The man's popping up. Let me see what she says. Every 8 days, he has in his rotation. Yep, it is a pattern. Very methodical, very planned out. So he's planning to wear her out every 8 days until he gets what he wants, or she holds the fort and he moves on. I believe you're going to hold the fort, and I believe he's going to move on because he's going to recognize that it's no use to keep on with the pattern. Yes, ma'am. All right. Our subject, you see our subject, it is the desperate narcissist. What happens? What are some of the symptoms when the narcissist get desperate for fuel? How does the narcissist act? And what is the pattern of the narcissist when they are desperate for fuel? Let me see. There we go. There we are. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's deal with some things about the narcissist. When the narcissists get desperate for fuel, what is the endangerment of the supply, and what are some of the characteristics of the narcissist when he's desperate? And let's see some of the comments that are being made here. And what did you say? Nancy said, why spy when all they have to do simply ask? She said, he's been trying all year. Yeah, he is desperate. If the narcissist is trying to hoover you all year, he's getting fuel, but he's not getting fuel like he can get from you, because the narcissist, they move on and they have a sense of entitlement. And so they feel like you should be privileged in watching and having them instead of them running and chasing after you. She said smear campaign and send all flying monkeys he groomed. Ugh. And available for him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the desperation by the attempts he has. She said to check your temperature. Absolutely, Keiko. She said, why not use their usual phone number? Well, first of all, if they done test it out and see that you are resistant to them, they know that they may not have a chance with you, especially if they know they have done a serious, serious damage, but through a smear campaign or to a horrible discard. They know that you're not going to tolerate that. She said, they need it all. I just found out, and this is Anna. She said, I just found out my narc was sleeping with me every night, but then going to his second supply in the morning. She says, seriously, what a greedy pig. Yeah, because most narcissists practice mind control, body control. And that's why narcissists would tell you that they have a good grasp of their emotions. They have a good grasp of their sexuality. And that's why you can tempt them and they won't move. They are overconfident. Hey, Fifi, how are you? They're overconfident about it. Nancy said he likes the taunting. That's a fuel source. Absolutely. And also thought fuel. If he think you're miserable, that's fuel for him. She said the first thing he said last night when he came home is, babe, I left my phone at my brother's. And that's what gave him away. Yep. All their supplies. And then Irene said, until you go completely no contact with a narcissist, they won't fully understand that the woman does not want them. Absolutely. You have to gray rock them and go full NC. She said, I went straight over to the new supply and threw his clothes at her. Oh, wow. At her lawn. Wow. Christina said, I'm the one that got away. They do not change. They think you want them forever. Yep. She said, maybe I would have been lost if I hadn't learned from you too. She said, I would have thought the love of my life was coming back. Absolutely. She said, no, he left the phone at his man's house. Whoa. Front lawn. Ooh. So it is known that narcissists can be bisexual. She said, yes, the same here, Christina. She said, welcome all new, thank you. Welcome all of our new subscribers. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube, I want you to take time and subscribe and push that bell. And every time I upload new content, you will definitely be notified. And you'll be notified if there's any conferences, if there's special uploads, you will be the first one that gets them. Wow. Okay, let's see. She said, why the hell he's having two and I wasn't enough? Because they're greedy and because they are pernicious. And she said, mine, I've known was on the down low. He always was dealing with a bunch of men with his freaky self. Ooh, this is Irene. Yeah, there are some narcissists. She's any kind of sex goes. That's Nancy. And then Miss Henry. Hello, everyone. There's a few desperate narcs at my job. She said, so I gray rock and they talk louder. She said, my confidence is in Jesus Christ. We agree. Miss Ann, they need supply as much as possible. They need fuel. They need fuel. They get the right supply. Christina said, Ann, no, he wasn't enough for himself. He's evil. You are and will always be enough. They are disgusting. The narcissist is looking for supply. They're looking for grandiosity. And most narcissists think the way to a woman is to hook them sexually or to buy them out. And if you notice the gifts start coming, or if you got the lower narcissists, and most of the lower narcissists have a problem keeping the job. So they use sex to get you hooked so you can take care of them. She said, Amen. Our faith is in God, in Jesus Christ. Absolutely, always. And I love when we come on together because this unit brings in cohesiveness, understanding, and you start to unfold what a person is going through. They know something is weird and they just never thought of a narcissist, and they don't think they could be with a narcissist, but they can't put their hands on why this dude is so weird, why this woman is so weird, and why it is not easy to get away. In the beginning it is. The longer you stay, the harder it is to leave. See, yep, they see nothing wrong with it. He was taking lots of showers lately. Indicative. Indicative. So let's talk about when they're desperate. And a lot of times, based on the amount of fuel that the narcissists need, that's the kind of supply they have. And so you got a narcissist, especially when you have the somatic narcissist, they're very, 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 very highly sexual. The somatic narcissist, probably more than all of them, is highly sexual because everything they got is based on how they look, and they want to be the best looking one. And so they want to be, and most narcissists want to be the best in bed. They want to be the best you had. And they need you to say that. And they can't stand the fact that they may be second rated. So they would do anything to come in first. And if sex is the way to do it, they would do it because they know that that's a hook sinker, and it's a soul tire. So when you are sleeping with the narcissist, it ties your soul, but it doesn't only tie your soul to the narcissist, it ties your soul to everyone the narcissist has had. Hey, Grandma, how are you, Grandma JJ? She said they have many sources that you may not even know about. You know, one thing about a narcissist, when I was doing a study, you would be amazed. One of them had over 1,000 women in about what 2 or 3 years. 1,000 women. They end up catching a venereal disease, but they had 1,000 women. So can you imagine what that supply went through? The mindset of the supply with all of those women that they brought home. And Irene said mine was an older somatic narcissist, and he was tall and handsome. However, he turned ugly to me because of his MPD. Yeah. Women are different. Men are visual. Women need emotional stimulation and security. She said, and yes, many of them are bisexual. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hello there. How are you, Monique? Thank you for joining us. She said, I have been in spiritual warfare because I am taking my life and my peace seriously, and I have joined the block ministry. Good, 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 good. I like that block in a lot of ways because you have to block them. In order to have peace, and you've been with the narcissist, you're going to have to detoxify. You're going to have to demagnetize. And if you stay with the narcissist, you never overcome it. It's just one series of trauma after another one, and you re-victimize yourself. That's why every time you go back to the narcissist, there is a re-victimization of what has happened before. And the narcissist is so secure with him returning until he just play the same game. There's no need to change the pattern because it worked. Irene said, I watch videos of yours telling me godly advice and telling me to stop sleeping with the narcissist. I'm very grateful for you. She's on some crying days. I watch you, so you encourage me. Oh, bless your heart, Irene. And I hope that's always the case because I want to keep encouraging you. Christina said, I don't buy a girl thing if I'm not getting sex. What I'm getting in return, I'm like that. Not how the relationship worked. He gaslighted me, and I was childish for not having sex till marriage. Oh no, you weren't childish. You was very wise. If it's walking and it's breathing, they are interesting. That's Ann. Oh, and you know, there are narcissists, especially the lower and lower mid narcissists, will almost take anything. But as they start to graduate, they get more meticulous. As a matter of fact, they go look for the prey and they go after the prey that they've chosen because their challenge is to win what they get. They play a game with themselves and they go after the high powered, high structured woman that seemed difficult. And then they break her down. And when they get her and finally get her, it's over. The fun is over. The journey is over. So she get discarded. And a lot of married men are on the trail. You don't have to be single. A lot of men that are going after these supplies are married men. Uh, Ann said, this Irene, bless you more, Helen. I know I had to subscribe to your channel. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So, when the narcissist is desperate for fuel, he changes. There's things that he would normally do that he would do. There's things he would normally tolerate, he would tolerate. And so it'll look like you're getting away with things. It'll look like you're finally gaining power, gaining authority with him, but you're not. You're not really gaining authority with the narcissist. The narcissist is using the situation for his advantage. And what he does is make you feel like you're gaining headway, that you're finally getting a relationship with him, that you know you're moving in. He'll act as if he's talking to you. He'll act as if he's concerned. He'll act as if you are friends, that he's telling you something that he don't normally tell anyone else. And he will do anything. And you would notice it if it's a return of the narcissist and they're desperate because they went off to a supply, but now they're coming back to you and they're hoovering you. This narcissist will go to the extreme and you'll notice they'll do everything you wanted them to do at first. I did a video on this, and then they're really love bombing you to get what they want, and they are playing the game. The narcissistic game is, can I get what I want? What is it going to take for me to get what I want? How long is going to take me? What I have to do? And then once they get the prey, how long does it take me to go to bed with her or go to bed with him? Or how long it take me to break them down? How long does it take for them to cry? If you're really strong and you're really powerful, they want to break you down to tears. And then once the game is played, the game is over because they are about the game. Narcissists plays game and they play it with people's lives. They will do anything to get supply at any given moment or opportunistic. Absolutely, Grandma JJ. You said it in a nutshell. And they will take advantage of any situation. And remember, the lower narcissist is very, they're not responsive, they're reactive. And the lower mid narcissist is reactive. And now, when you start graduating to the upper mid and the greater narcissist, that's your challenges because these are mind bogglers. They like to play games. They won't, some of them will purposely not go to bed with you for a while. They'll make you think they're interested and they put themselves on the schedule. They schedule themselves. I'm not going to do this to 2 months. I'm not going to do this to 3 months. And if you want to move it along because you feel like you love the narcissist pull back and he manage himself with great control. Why? Because they got a deeper intent in mind, especially when they're changing from the primal supply and they are getting ready to replace the primal supply. Because sometimes the narcissist will temporarily take the prime supply and chef them and bring in another primal supply. And they will get this primal supply for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then they'll go back for the old supply because they have built enough bondage and trauma bonding with that supply, and all along they're talking to them. They're not interacting with them emotionally, sexually, but they're moving them along just to gauge just where the temperature is. So when they need to hoover, they want to know where they are in the hoovering prospect. Christina said, very true. I was not having sex by any means. And she said, and was liked. Oh, well, what if it means that he'll hold out? She said, I don't know if he was breaking me down to get what he wanted or and to sleep with me with the world. Um, she said, I left a 72-year-old narcissist. This is Grandma JJ. She said, thank God it was only a 5-year relationship. Isn't that crazy? You would think, but they don't learn anything. They keep on going, and it's the same. A narc co-worker asked me something that was not job related, and I kept saying I don't know. And the narc got tired and moved on, and I detached from that fool. Absolutely, absolutely. Uh, Here is, she said, Helen, she said, you was described the narcissist, and I used to think, has Helen met this man? Some of the things that you talked about was was very unique to the narcissist that I was with. You know, God knows, and he allowed that information to come out just for you. She said some of them go with anyone to get few, from 5-year old to 70-year old. See, and that's perversion. Narcissists can be perversion. You can have a pedophile. Most pedophile like to date single women with children. If you got a narcissist, they center you out. They want single women with children, and they'll look for that. And and you'll notice they get into you, but they seem very cuddly, very kind, very understanding to your child because they want to groom them. Know when you are a mom and you're meeting a man and you're a single parent, please be aware, because the narcissist has no sympathy, empathy, or sympathy. They may exemplify falsity and being empathetic and sympathetic, but they don't care, and they could hurt a child easily and act like nothing happened, and take and threaten that child, that if that child say anything, that something's going to happen to the mom, or something's going to happen to the child, or he's going to do something in the night to really hurt them. And they are scared, and the child start exemplifying pain when they're moving, or they sit down real slowly, or they're having problems going to the bathroom, or as soon as the narcissist come, they urinate on themselves, or they're at the table and they're shaking at the table and they're losing their appetite, they're having problems sleeping. You may notice anxiety attack. Their hair falls out. They sweat when the narcissists come around, or they close their eyes, or they get in the corner, or you may notice that they start alternating personalities. You know, they start talking to this person and then becoming this person. And it's all right. Most children have imaginary friends, but when they become the imaginary friends, they are starting to hide inside, and they escape their reality. And when you notice the aura of the house change, moms, come on, wake up. When the child is exemplified, don't excuse what you see. The child can only tell you how they relate, and they're children. They can't tell you everything. They don't know how to break through these threats and break through these vicious cycles that the narcissists do. And they do everything to try to give you an indication, Mom, something is wrong here. And you got to be smart enough to know when your child is trying to give a message that the narcissist is doing something they should not do. And notice the narcissist. That narcissist, usually that is a pedophile, will have sex with you, just like Ann's was saying. He will have sex with her at night and go with the supply in the morning, where the narcissist will have a place for you so you could be satisfied and not suspicious while they are tampering with the children. So, and if you suspect that, you make sure you call the law. Don't let them get away with it. Get them out of the house, or you get out of the house. Get them away from the child, especially when you know that they are attracted to the child. And when a narcissist seems very interested in your children, and they are over interested in your children, put on all alerts. Something is wrong. Uh, hey, parents, how are you? Thank you so much for that compliment. Hello, Janet, how are you? She said narcissist abuse is domestic violence in every sense of the word. She said, yes, I have witnessed horrible things about their crazy fantasies in their head. Absolutely. Absolutely. because some of them may like horrible sexual practices that are very painful to you. uh, she said that 72-year-old narc threw my car into the threw my cat into the window and cracked one of his fangs. Oh my God. She said, and they are horrible to pets. Yep, they will even kill them if they have to. She said, and he hated his only son and 5 grandchildren. It was very sad. Yeah. She said, and I know how a 75-year-old spiritual knock, this is Janet, televangelist. She's a prosperity gospel who hoovered me to work at a dream job ministry. You know, sometimes the worst ones are the religious ones because people excuse them. And a lot of times they get away with things because people spiritualize and they place them on a pedestal and they don't listen to the signs that are before them. Just because a person act like they love God and act like, and they can be in the church, they can be in the pastor, they can be the pastor of that church, the bishop of that church, the apostle of that church. But if you notice a pattern of behavior and you feel uncomfortable inside of you, you need to listen to those signs, because those signs could be telling you that this is not the place for you to be. If that because the religious narcissists take advantage of spiritual moment because most people won't challenge them. However, in the 21st century, you got a lot of people that would challenge you. They will ask you where you get that from. And they studied the Bible. The Bible said the Bereans would go and check out all the things the apostles would preach and to make sure it was so. And that's what you have to do. You get these checks in your spirit and you get these red flags and something don't match up. Don't excuse them. And a lot of time we'll just say it's me. It's not you. It could be very well them. uh Ernest, hello there, Ernestine, how are you? Thank you for joining us on today. uh what other comment we have? um I am reading. She's, yeah. And see, and when you are bringing in a blended family, you have to be careful anyway, whether they're narcissists or not. So you know you have to be extremely careful when they're narcissists, because in a regular relationship, you can have empathy, you can have sympathy, you got compassion, you got some person who cares for you, you got some person who has the ability to love. Well, that's not available with the narcissist. The narcissist doesn't care about anybody else but themselves. There's no sympathy, there's no empathy. And the narcissists, they grudge compassion, except it's being given to them. That's why they're attracted to empaths. And empaths with children, that goes with a narcissist. You got to be extremely careful, because a lot of times you miss things because you're so busy trying to meet the needs of the narcissist, and the narcissists are meeting their own needs and using your children as a menu. And when they on the menu, the kids are serving them. And so learn to listen to your children, teach them well, get a system of communication that you can do secret signs and have a way to communicate non-verbally that nobody knows about but you and the narcissist. uh and say, don't accept his gift from them. It is, she said, it's so they can throw it in your face. They're phonies. Absolutely. Every gift they give you. Remember, the narcissist is intentional. If you recognize that, you'll know everything they plan. The narcissist just don't haphazardly think about things. That's the lower narcissist. The lower narcissist is not responsive, they're reactive. So they do things because they don't know who they are yet. They know they're different. Every narcissist know they're different. They think they're strange. But as they grow and as they have relationship and multiplicity of relationship, they're noticing they're having advantage. They're noticing different patterns. They're noticing with the women, if they do this, they all say this, they all do this, and they can gain control. Once the narcissists know that, then they start to demonstrate that. They start to intentionally do that. And that's how they grow in their classes. That's how they increase themselves. And that's how they become more expertise in what they do, emotional damage to you. Uh, Emilia said narcissists hate cats because they are independent and not a good source of supply for the narc. She said, my narc would treat our dog with ultimate, with the because the dog was the golden animal. You have the golden animal, just and then you have the scapegoat. Because there's some narcissists that would prefer the cat over the dog. And they can be very, very dangerous. Usually, what the narcissist does to your animal is what they will eventually do to you, and they would demonstrate it with the animal. And what they are doing with the animal is in their minds. They are graduating, and you'll notice the graduate deliberate abuse of the animals. It increases, it advances, because and then when they advance in their mistreatment of you. And so you got to be careful, because if you have a malignant narcissist, or you have a psychopathic narcissist, or a sociopathic narcissist that is very dangerous, or overt narcissist, and they come in and they're hurting the animal or hurting the child, that is a message. It's a prelude to what they're going to do to you. And that is their scream. That is their preview. They're on the tracks to you by what you are seeing. And when you miss that, it calls them to progress. When you get them, that's when they have to stop, because they got to explain their behavior. They got to use something else because they know that you're the wiser. Uh, yeah, let me see. Janet says, future faking jobs. God taught me narcissist. Uh, God taught me narcissism from him and blocked me from going. I led him to Jesus, transformed the ministry long distance, but it's still horrifying. His health has been destroyed. Yeah, the one thing about a narc, I don't believe that anything is impossible. I believe all things are possible. But one thing about a narcissist, they usually go back to what they know. They gradually go back to the past because they can't get what they want, and their structure has allowed them to minimize any change, because they compete with God. Narcissists compete with God because they want to be a God themselves. And when they are hurt or broken or in trouble, and they get into this fake repentance, this fake sorrow, then you will notice gradually it will come out. They're not running after God. They're not going to church. They're not reading their Bible. They're doing things to get attention. So be very careful. Grandma said they will use anything and anyone for attention. Grandma, you are so right. Even God. She said God is dealing with his pride, dying of a brain tumor, if not here. Hope he make it to heaven. Yeah, me too. She said, I saw the co-worker Nar walk by me. She said, and shaking like a panic attack. She said, but I could see the demon inside knows that I know uh, what it shapeshifters, false prophet, pretty much. Absolutely. She said it is a heartless evil. All right, y'all. Come on, let's do this. We got 45 minutes. She said there was a guy that I hung out with. She said recently who lied and said he was an empath and said he catches cat for the neighborhood and fixes them. And he doesn't own a cat and said he liked dogs. Seems fishy. Yeah, he's a liar. He's a liar. He's a narc. And usually that, I would suspect some witchcraft in that. I would expect sorcery, witchcraft, because he's hemming in on different cats. And he may have a ritual with that while he is getting the cats in the neighborhoods and having them fixed. Uh, she said they won't sleep either. She said, and that's what gets you exalted. Your body feels, what's that, nutta? What is that? Constantly. And when they are nearby, that's your spirit picking up their spirit. She said, yeah, they are dangerous when they tamper with animals and hate certain animals. Usually, when you get them like that, narcissists hate anybody that you're close to. If you love on an animal, they're going to target that animal because remember, they want to hurt you. And animal is just like a family, it's like a family member. You love that animal. Well, they're going to go after it. And remember, the measure that they do to the animals is your future. They are giving you a preview of what they're going to do to you. If they hurt that animal, kill that animal, know that you are in trouble. Please don't take these lightly. The narcissist is very intentional. Remember that about the narcissist. What they do, they plan. They're very intentional. And like the young lady say, they don't sleep. They don't need a lot of sleep. Their mind is going while you're sleeping. They're thinking, they're devising their next evil, how to hurt you, how to get another supply, how to discard you, devaluate you, how to gaslight you. They are thinking all the time. And you know, when you get wandering spirits don't rest. And that's what the narcissist is. She's a wandering spirit, and they lack peace and they lack rest. There's turmoil in them all the time. And the Bible said there's no peace to the wicked. Their wickedness keep them awake, and guilt, they're never satisfied, they're never complete, they always have these big holes in them, and that's why they need more and more and more. And if you notice, the more fuel they get, the more fuel they need. And Melissa says, lots of love. They never stop coming back to try and lure you back. She said, never, no contact for 3 years. She said, and every year after that, he's tried to reach me. He never stops. Absolutely. She said, yep. Nancy said, he's up all night. Henry said, you are so right. You can feel the evil when the narcissists come around. Absolutely. Your spirit discerns them. Uh, Debo, hello, Debo. How are you? I am so glad that you joined us. It's been a while. And Irene said, like that, Helen, wandering spirits don't rest. Absolutely. They don't rest. They're constantly moving and they have no peace. Nancy said, and they get worse when they gain political. Oh my God. When they gain any place of authority, any kind of power. And remember, the more authority they get, the more flying monkeys they recruit. Because the narcissists, the higher they get, the more people they need to do their work. The narcissists stop doing their work and they get other people. Because remember, the narcissist is not going to be blamed. You're going to be blamed. The narcissists want you to take all their fallout. So they get those flying monkeys to do their evil work. And these flying monkeys are loyal to the narcissist. They don't know that the spirit of persuasion is mesmerizing them. And the narcissists get around, especially the greater narcissists, the upper mid narcissists. They know the impact that they have on the body physically, because they've seen it, they've heard it, they know it, and so they've been used to it. And so they get around you on purpose, because there can be this ugly, ugly, ugly narc. If you don't put your shields up and you get around them, you will start really liking them. You will start making an excuse for them. That's the spirit that's on them. They're not. You have to keep your shields up. You have to stay prayerful. You have to build your mind. You have to keep that word going in your mind so you can have blocks, so you can have shields. So every time those missiles are launched, you can quench it. Uh, Yeah, Mom JJ said I had to block 5 different Instagram accounts. Yeah, by that narcissist. They was constantly creating new accounts to spy on past supply. And that's what they do. And many people, if you don't know these people, don't get them to follow them. And when they want to get you to respond, don't respond to them. Don't respond. Nancy says up here, intoxicated on power and money. Absolutely. Hey, Jesus girl, how are you? She's and Nancy says here, she said, for your information, she said, mine had global power and had tormented me with impurity for years. I know. And nobody will believe you, probably. Grooming flying monkeys, golden child, and a scapegoat role in every situation. Wow. no consequence. She said only God can take care of them. And you don't allow that bitterness to build in your spirit because it's going to hinder you. She said flying monkeys go by other titles, minions, agents, lieutenants. Absolutely, they have ranks. They have ranks. She said he would say, it's like I have this anger deep inside. Then it was, I don't have patience for people. I don't have problems. She said, I don't have problems with people. Just ask me stupid questions. Everyone was stupid but him. Yeah, absolutely. Grandiosity would do that. Flying monkeys. Police had me falsely arrested uh, numerous of times. And this is Nancy's. Pretty much they should pretty much got a history to know that it's false, but they don't. Narcissists always want to play the discard game. When you do the final discard and get rid of the narcissist, um, you cannot, oh, then you can't get rid of them. No, because they want to be the final one. They do not want you to get rid of them. They will come back and hoover you just so they can get rid of you. And then they won. She said he could never sleep without pills. Demon man. Well, wandering spirit. Christina, I wish I witnessed that too. But you know what? When you have a demon spirit, just think about demons. They're always, their mind is going. They're thinking evil things. They're in the dark. They're hurting people. They are vicious sexually. They are impure sexually. They are irresponsible financially. So when you have all of that, just think of a person who's doing all of that. There is no way possible that they're doing all of that and it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. They have no peace, none. And if you sleep, a lot of times you'll wake up, the narcissist is looking at you through the night. They're watching you. They're watching how you sleep. They're curtailing your breathing. It is crazy what interests them. Your breathing, the way you move your eyebrows, how many times you blink, how many times you look away, how easily you are distracted. And when you talk to them, how long can you gauge with them without breaking your focus? All of that. They track you down because they're very meticulous in their attack. Remember that. They're very precise and very intentional in their attack. Yes, flying monkeys is in the healthcare uh, uh, business and narcissists at every degree. She said, I understand you, Nancy. It's a big problem. She said he has global power. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we've seen that in the last few years, what happens when you are in a position of authority, even politically. They are sexual predators. Absolutely. And you know what really gets me is being a sexual predator, they don't have to go and rape, they get supply and rape them. They get supply and use them. They get supply and misuse them. Then they don't have to go to jail because many of them are very pernicious and they use you for their absurd desires, their obscenities, all of these things. And it's freelance. Why? They would even marry you so they can do that. The narcissist will marry you within 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They don't have long engagement. If they have long engagement, there's other measures in between. Now, when a narcissist is dealing with an entourage of supply, it usually take them more time because they have to give to so many people and they try to section themselves out to these different peoples to be effective so they can get the supply they need. Nancy said false diagnosis. Yeah, Nancy said they will groom you. And Christina said everyone seems to say that their narcissist slept either without pills. He used to be so calm, soft spoken. It's crazy when we are in frogs in the pot swimming like they are being cooked, grooming. She said he used YouTube and online dating sites and all the time, all the time. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and they use online dating sites. Why? Because there's no obligation. That's why a lot of narcissists have problems with masturbation, because they don't want the obligation and the emotional tie. So they masturbate. And then they don't have to satisfy you. You can do whatever. And a lot of times when the narcissist is high sex and they want to put you on a discard sexually, they go to sites like that and they practice masturbations. Zynex. Oh, yeah. Uh, Let me see here. What did she say? Curtail breathing. Wow. Yep. They want to know how you're breathing. They want to know how you're sweating. They want to know everything about you. The brain, when the lights go out, the brain automatically make melatonin. But when you are stressed out and there's intrusive invasion to natural flows of the brain and the messages are interrupted to go to the body, then you don't sleep, because naturally your body knows to rest when the lights are out. What happened then when you get up, the serotonin work to get you going for the day, and then you're drained. You're drained because the narcissists have drained you all night, especially with word salad, gaslighting. You go around and round and round, and when you get into an argument, it never comes to a conclusion, because they start back over from where you begin. And just when you think you made headway, here we go again, word salad. And so this is purposefully, and they never have to resolve any issues. uh 30 minutes. She said monitors my mail. They monitor everything. Yes, to study. Yeah, they study you like a PhD. Yes, ma'am. Because if they're going to be effective, they got to know you like that. They got to know your ways. They got to know what you do. And see, remember, the narcissist is fuel oriented. They protect their interests. You're like an insurance policy to make sure they get the fuel. And to get the fuel, they need you to be where you are in full. You don't have to be happy. You just got to be responsive. You just got to be in the flow. So when they come, because some narcissists, they don't want positive fuel. They need negative fuel. When they feel like they've been a bad boy or a bad girl, and they empty this S&M stuff. And so now they're going to make you miserable because they're miserable. And when you feel good, oh, it sets them off. They hate it with a passion, and they're going to interrupt everything glorious about you. If there's a promotion, they're going to make sure you're degraded. If you are happy, they're going to make sure you're sad. If you do something that is encouraging, they're going to make sure you're discouraged. If you have a sense of accomplishment, they're going to tell you they're going to belittle you and tell you how you're not whatever you think you are. And so the narcissist is invasive with your happiness, with your peace, because whatever they don't have, they don't want you to have it. Janet said the role of life is narrow, and those that find it are few. She said, but wide is the way of destruction, and many there be on it. It is scary how the narcissists and those abused have surfaced. Like the world is taken over by narcissists, because it has happened in the last 4 years. They've given way to it, and whatever you give way to grows. She said, get print out of my bank account, everything. And you may even have a clone uh, program on your phone. She said, when they start accusing you of cheating, and trust and belief, it's them that's cheating. Yeah, they usually tell off on themselves. She said they would tap your phone and would create lies on you and would take all of your self-esteem, because that's what they are. That's what they feel like. She said, that's right. She said, they want me miserable every single day because they're miserable. And really, the narcissist tell off. When the narcissist is cheating and the narcissist say, you spending all the money, they're spending all the money. When the narcissist say you're cheating, well, you can feel it. You don't have to catch them. You don't have to have any evidence. A woman knows when her man cheat. Now you can get cognizant dissonance where you deny everything and you can deflect conversation, but you know that they're cheating. They're not the only readers. You can read nonverbal communication, but you're afraid to deal with it because you're afraid to lose a relationship that was never real and lost anyway. So Keiko said, I remember he told me he preferred negative attention rather than positive attention. Absolutely. They would try to put your candle out every single time. He wants me to reconcile after 20 years apart. Yeah, that's that Hoover. She said, yes, I was accused of cheating. See, a narcissist can be gone for 10 years. And because their life is stuck, they're really stuck. They come 10 years later to treat you like it was when they left you. That was 10 years ago. You're not even the same woman. I don't even have the same mind. I got a whole different family and I'm happy. They don't care about that. If they're a malignant narcissist, they're dangerous because they will interrupt what has substituted them and they want it gone. If they're a covert narcissist, they will try to con you out of the relationship. If they're psychopathic or if they're sociopath, they will come in and try to interrupt with evasive maneuvers. The sociopaths like to play games. They play games with their own mind. And then the psychopaths just don't care. They go in there and they're smooth as Bundy, smooth as butter, and have your demise in the end. And so it doesn't matter how long you've been away from the narcissist. Once you connect with them and you done had a relationship with them, they feel like you belong to them. You are their property, not their woman, not their man. You are property. When you put bread in a toaster, you don't feel compassion for that toaster. You don't feel sorry for that toaster. If the toaster break, you will get rid of it and buy another or get it fixed. That's the way the narcissists see you. They see you as property. Putting bread in the toaster and it pops up, they don't give you any kudos. Why? That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to serve me. You're supposed to love me. You're supposed to be miserable with me. You're supposed to do whatever I tell you to do. That's the way the narcissists think. She's a voice activated recorder up on the bed. I mean, it's really crazy. And you go through the house and the house is bugged. She said a woman would never be afraid to get a narcissist out of her life. Should never be afraid. But most of them are. But let me tell you something. In the 21st century, women don't take what they used to take. There used to be time women would spend 20, 30, 40 years with a narcissist, or 50, 60 years. I had one almost 70 years with a narcissist. And you know what? After 70 years of being with that narcissist, giving her life that narcissist, it was the same. She never felt love. She never knew whether he loved her, even through the kids, and the kids are grown. It's still the same pattern. And I've heard this 1,000 times of people who've been with narcissists over 30, 40 years, and they never had the security. Young people nowadays will put up with the narcissist only so much, and then they're out of there. More people are leaving narcissists than what they are really emphasizing, because people now are just as selfish. They are selfish and they're not tolerating it. They think they should be happy, and they will leave. They will leave the narcissist with children or without children. So the narcissists are having to be smarter. They're having to do more program because people are less tolerant. People are less concerning about pleasing the narcissist that is abusing them, even though they're trauma bonded. They're just disloyal. People are not loyal like they were before. So it's a lot of things have changed, even for the narcissists. And the narcissists, the way the people are, they had to up their game. They had to up how they play the game. They had to up how they use people in the non-reality. They had to up their game in bringing people in their lives, because they know that people now, they just don't care. They're out there. So when you play the game, you got to come with the game, and you got to come strong. And when you talk, you got to talk to them, because you checking them out and they checking you out too, because most of them have been so violated, so abused until they don't really care. She said, I would peep. She said, I would peep that he was trying to make me feel bad for who I am, and said, wait, are you trying to make me feel bad for who I am? And he heard me, and he heard my fighting tone and gaslighting me. I'm interpreting things wrong. Uh, Anything to win the battle. She's after you come back 10 years later, I may have even have somebody. The narcissists don't care about that. The narcissists don't care about that. They don't care about you got anybody. If you got a malignant narcissist, you have an overt narcissist, psychopathic, sociopath. and you have children, if you start a family that narcissists don't care, they will look for a way in, even if it's getting the new child, anything to get to you. And you got to remember, heartless people do heartless things. They don't care. Empath. This is a time you need to wake up. When you're dealing with the narcissist, when you're dealing with a heartless person who thrive on that, you then have to educate yourself in who you are, because you naturally feel, you naturally help, you naturally want to love people, you naturally want to see their benefit, but you do it in a greater measure because you are super sensitive. You don't have the normal sensitivity that other people have. You're super sensitive. So everything you have emotionally, put super on it, because you bypass the norm. And that's why you're so necessary in the ministry of helps, or in the avenue of helps, to help people. And when people are needy, you come in and you service that need, and you do it with pleasure. The narcissist loves empath. They love empaths like a person without oxygen needs it. They would rather have an empath because they know you're going to do what a normal person won't do, and you're going to do it to the extreme. You're going to take the emotions to the extreme. You're going to take the help to the extreme. A regular person may say, boom, I got enough. That empath will say, no, let me try to do this again. Let me try to help you again. Let me implement this. And so when the other person leaves, the empath is still there, trying to help, trying to give, because they feel like they have the resolve within them. Sometimes the empath problem is they never know when to quit. Irene said my narcissist friend used to put his voice activated recorder under his girlfriend's bed. And I used to ask him, don't you think that is putting a voice recorder under the bed is a violation of privacy? No, ma'am. You don't have any privacy with a narc. The narc, like, I am your privacy. I'm your everything. When the narcissist enters your life, he becomes your registrar. Everything you need, he's your walking Bible. He tabulates your time. And if you notice, the narcissist try to tell you what to wear, how to wear your hair, even try to wear your makeup. They tell you what to put on. They tell you when you turned on or when you turned off. And then a narcissist, sometime in the middle of a husband and wife lovemaking, they just stop. They get you up. And when they get you up, he stops, get out of the bed, and probably laughs. They will do anything to tear down your character, to make you feel less than human. And then they feel good, because really that's what they feel like. Every day you walking around with this hole. Every day you don't meet up to the standards, so you go grandiose. Why? Because you feel entitled. So you have to overemphasize yourself. And then when people and narcissists, when you're trying to explain to a narcissist, have you noticed they really look at you like they don't understand? They don't. It's a personality disorder. A narcissist can't figure out, why don't you want me? I'm the best thing you ever had. Why aren't you with me? Many people would give their right arm to be where you are, and many women probably will. Many men probably would give their right arm to be with you. Well, I'm not the persons who will give their right arm. I'm not going to give my right arm nor my left arm. And I want to be treated with humanity and decency. Well, you're not going to get that with a narc. That's the wrong relationship. And many of you are making demands. They don't understand. They don't understand. That's why when you look at them, they're looking at you like a deer looking in headlights. Their mind is programmed different. And when they hear you say something, they are not hearing what you say. I want to do a video on that. The narcissist is calibrated psychologically different, and they're calibrated through their hearing differently. The way, the interpretation of your words, it scrambles and goes through the narcissist language manual, and then it downloads in there. And then when they feed back, you say, I didn't say that. They say, yes, you did. And you're looking at them like you're crazy. This is what I said. You can tape it, you can write it, but their brain is not going to interpret what you have said. Literally, their brain is going to interpret how they understand. And how they understand will never be the way you say it. It will never be the way you meant. Never. You can spend all night, all day. That's not what the narcissist is going to hear because they're programmed different. You got to remember, and we're going to talk about the different qualities and the different sanctioning psychologically of the narcissist. That when you release words, it goes through this meter and it goes through this narcissist meter. And if it never will interpret and then articulate what you're saying, how are you going to communicate? You're never going to have effective communication. You will have effective communication as long as they allow you because they want something. But that's not effective because after they get what they want, boom, everything comes back. Your true reality comes back. And then the narcissist tell you, you crazy. I never said that. And you like, you did say that. I never ever said that. And they'll promise you, I never said that. No, what he meant is I said it, but that's not what I meant. I never meant that. That's what I said, but I never meant that. Well, you heard what they said, and your meter of interpretation is different. Uh, Pa Rain said, am a mom of two and had recently separated. She said, I gave until I was drained financially, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. He cheated on me and betrayed me. He has been abusing me via emails. Oh, because he's blaming you for what he did. He don't want to accept the fact that you don't want him back. He wants to break, he's dependent on the trauma bonding. The trauma bonding will get you back. That Stockholm syndrome, when you love your killer, that's what they depend on. They depend on you coming back because you abuse. And that's why the narcissist spend a lot of time telling you nobody want you. Well, you keep hoovering me. You don't even want me for right, but even you want me. So why nobody won't want me for right when you are hoovering me? And you all you want me for is yourself. But somebody else want me to love me. And the narcissists know that. And they are more afraid of that than anything. They don't want you to experience love because love is what they're deprived of. Love is what they look for in every new supply. And then the reality hit. They're human and they still are depraved. A child of God said, once you give them love, validation, and power and emotion, it literally goes to their head. It will, she said, it will sick and they'll think you still under their spell forever. Very delusional truth. Speak on how important no contact is healing. In order for your body to heal, for your brain to heal, for your memory to heal. And see, many of you ruminate because your memory have to heal. Your memory is the last thing to go when you die. 10 minutes when a person dies, their memory can work. And your brain is having your body has no activity, but your brain, the last thing to go, and it's the last thing to release is memory. So when you are leave that narcissist and go no contact, your memory have to heal. And this is the recovery zone. The recovery zone is not you being physically there. It's healing the memory. It's healing the mind. It's healing your recall arena. And that recall arena bring back the sensations of actually being there. The pain, the tears, the loneliness, the abuse, the trauma. And so that's why it takes so long to recover. Why? Because we got to go in that memory bank. And a lot of times we have to stir up the pain that was created by the narcissist just to get in there to get your healing. And so a lot of times the pain, they call the therapist the rapist. Because therapist, when you separate the word, it's spelled the rapist. And so a lot of people call the therapist the rapist. Why? Because now you are raping me of the peace I thought I had. You done took me back to victimize me in the pain. I left the narcissist so I can forget. No, you left the narcissist and you still remember. Unless you have Alzheimer's, you still remember. We're going in your memory, and it's painful now, but this is healing pain. It's like when you're exercising and you are tearing muscle that was sagging from one place to another, and you building that muscle up. It can be painful, but you know in the end, the benefits is going to be worth the pain that you went through. With the therapist, the counselor, the life coach, I'm a certified life coach. So the life coach that goes to you is going into the places that is the problem. So we can download correction in there. And you have to trust that when we enter those private moments, when we enter those closet spaces that have been locked up, and we got all of these piles of clothes called thoughts and memories, events and incidents and hurtful moments. And we're taking all of those clothes that's everywhere in your dark closet and we're organizing things, and we're taking out the dirty ones, getting rid of them, and we're bringing in clean clothes so you can walk into a lit closet and see organization in your life and see organization in your mind. The narcissist spend a lot of time disorganizing your life. And the longer there's disorganizing in your life, there's hoarding. All of these thoughts, all of these painful memories are hoarded in your heart, in your mind, in your brain. So we go into your memory bank and we heal. No contact is the best way of healing. No contact is narcissistic medicine. It gets you away from the narcissist. It heals you. And you notice that the first thing that seemed to leave when you leave the narcissist is the fog. You start getting hindsight. You start seeing what the narcissist was doing. You stop deflecting and making up excuses, going to cognizant dissonance. You start getting the reality and realizing, what was I doing? What was wrong with me? That's what you start asking. When you start asking, what was wrong with me? You're waking up. We know, okay, you're waking up. The fog is leaving. You are not with the narcissist, because a desperate narcissist is relentless. A desperate narcissist won't stop. A desperate narcissist will keep pulling on you. A desperate narcissist will keep magnetizing you. A desperate narcissist will love bomb you, and they will go gold. They will go platinum. They will give you the ultimate love bombing. A narcissist won't sleep until they get that supply. And then if they become obsessed with getting you because they want to get you to hurt you, because you are making me work too hard. You know you want me and nobody refused me. So the narcissist is now playing the game. And the game is to get that supply at any cost. And once I get you, I'm going to love bomb you. I'm going to make love to you. I'm going to turn you upside down. I'm going to rock your world until you call my name when you're awake. Let's know when I'm loving you or when when you're asleep, you're going to call my name. And when they get you like that, they discard you and say you was never worth the time I took anyway, because the narcissists want the win. That's all they want. And they don't, especially an escape supply, uh, you don't ever go back. You have to go NC. NC means no contact. No contact means that. It means no emails. Get rid of all your emails unless you're in court. You keep your hard drive. You keep every text. You keep every email. You keep every letter. You keep every receipt. You keep all payments, rent. You keep everything that the narcissist has done. When you go into court with the narcissist, be very organized, be very structured, because that demon gonna have his stuff together, and he gonna pick the worst attorney that just like themselves. Most narc want narcissistic attorney. You need one too. And so that narcissistic attorney is going to make sure they strip you of everything. You never get rid of anything. If you married to a narc and you don't, and they haven't taken you to court yet, You still keep things because the narcissists always have a backlash to hurt you, and they'll film you, they'll stalk you, they'll have flying monkey to stop you. If you ever scream at the child, they will do cuts and films, put film together. They will do Photoshop. They will do anything to hurt you. So remember, NC is just that. No emails, no phone calls. Don't look at their pictures. Don't see who they're seeing. Don't go after their Instagram. Don't do anything. No contact is literally what it says. No contact. If it's bringing you in the eye distance of the narcissist, that's contact. Ear distance of the narcissist, that's contact. Field distance of the narcissist, that's contact. Speaking distance of the narcissist, that's contact. The only time you make contact is when there's children or there's business properties and different things like that where you have to. Then you make contact. Other than that, it's NC. You don't make contact because a desperate narcissist is more dangerous than you holding your nose beyond the time that you should breathe. It's a killer, guys. And the narcissist is relentless. When you're drained, they're not. When you're out of energy and when you're out of breath and when you're out of ideas, they're not. Remember, vagabonds don't sleep. You do. So the peace that you need, they don't, because they don't have it. The care that you having, the love, the concern, they don't have any of that. You're the only one have that. So you got to be smart when you're dealing with a narcissist. And that's why your brain gets so attacked and they bring your brain under fog because they don't want you smart. They want you disillusional and drained so they can get away with most of the stuff they get away with. I hope that explained NC. She said, I still keep records. And she said, we don't have kids. I'm just waiting for my book. If he tries anything in the future, or if I can get called to court for some reason about him, karma will come. No, the Holy Ghost will come. Angelique, she said, Nancy, get your power back, feed your mind with positive, and because it gets your brain off the narcissist. And yes, they don't sleep. Helen has it. Absolutely. Ooh, listen to, let me get that one back. Nancy, he has alters who contacts me with his secret. Yeah, absolutely. Those little demon monkeys. She's a wonderful NC explanation. Thank you, Melissa. Let's see. Angelique said the narcissist like told him has he was cerebral, but the Holy Spirit no match because he knows the narcissist deceit. Absolutely. The social services will fight for women to get child support. Absolutely. And you make sure you do. Child of God said, do you have sermons available? Absolutely. You can go into Intuit Chambers and get any one I have. And you can also go on Instagram and look for Sattler Helen. And you can go under the ITV. And it's right there for you. Thank you. I think we have come to a close. Grandma, she said the exhausted narcs talk about doing, the ex-narc talk about doing voodoo. If he talk about it, he's already doing it. If the narcissist is talking about voodoo, they're already doing it. So don't eat anything, don't leave anything. The only thing about living with them, they always got your garment. Husband and wife, and some husbands is really crazy. Uh, Let me how can I put this? Some of do oral stimulation, and right in the oral stimulation, they will stop and they will go like they got to go to the bathroom or something, and they will take that or from the what they got from oral stimulation, put it in a jar, and they will curse it. They will curse it. They will do anything to immobilize you. What I hear uh, different people going through is really crazy. You know, from cutting your hair while you're sleeping, you wake up and they're staring at you, but what you see is not their form, and then slowly their face coming back in because they're distorted. These are spirits, and they join with those spirits. Because how can you not? When you have a person that's not able to love you, a person that's not able to care for you, a person not able to give to you, how can you not? They are not able to love. Then what is the relationship for? Why did you get married? Like Tyler Perry, why did I get married? They're not able, they're unable to love you. And if they're not capable of loving you, what do you have? You have to ask yourself. Sometimes we go on feelings. Marriage and love and commitment is more than a feeling. A feeling is what we get psychologically when we're stimulated, and it's allowing our emotions. But marriage is more than the emotion. The emotion is going to leave, then what do you have? Because you're not going to always have emotion. That may be a temporary stimulus, that may be initial stimulus, but when you deal with a narcissist, you got to deal with a narcissist unemotional and with wisdom. If you stay in that relationship, and it is proven that it has a psychological, it has a physiological effect on you, has a sociological effect, it has a professional effect, it has a financial effect, it has parental effect. Narcissism affect every part of your body, every part of your life. She said, and they hate their own kids. They hate their kids, they're going to love you. They hate what they produce. They hate the extension of themselves, and they're going to love you. Well, when you are into, you said, but I got a covenant. I got a covenant with God. You don't have a covenant with God with a narcissist, because the narcissist didn't make a covenant. They made energy. They made fuel. You're a gas station. And when you run out of fuel, they're gone. They don't care how much they love God. They're going to get out of there. They can read the Bible and go cheat. And while they're talking to you about church, they're laying up with another supply. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. We're smarter than that. We're not so emotionally deprived. And see, some of you are addiction. You have to break that addiction. You don't feel bad when you're addicted. You get answers through addiction, because being addicted to a narcissist doesn't mean that there's not healing. You can get healing through addiction. If they can get healing with drugs, and they go to the place and say, I want help, and they're addicted, then you can do that too. It may take you more time because of what you feel. You got children involved, business, you got finances involved. So it's a lot more involved. But there's always a solution, because you can give your life away, and it's too late by the time you wake up to get it back. You don't want to spend 60 years with a narc, 50 years with a narc, and you still in the same place emotionally that you was at when you're 20. When the narcissist is desperate, they will do anything. Stay NC. Don't go back. Don't answer the phone. Don't take the gifts, because once you start ruminating, you're going to ruminate only the good memories, and you're going to forget the hell you've been through. You're going to forget how many times he held you underwater, and one more breath you would have drowned, and he got you up out of that breath because he needed that breath for fuel. You have to remember, you have to recall. You are worth more than that. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are a powerful being. And what you went through with that narcissist gave you more power, because now look what you can say. Look at the class you went through, and you made it. I know women didn't make it. I know women that are not here today. But the narcissist is here, and they are gone. And they died loving them. And the narcissist laughed all the way. And they're no longer here. And some have had children. The children are here and left with a narc who could care less about them, because she didn't strengthen her gate. She didn't realize her power. You have to realize your power. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You can do anything you want to do. You just have to make up in your mind to do it. Loving a narcissist is not the end of the world, and it's not consuming. You don't have to have a totality. And what I mean by that, they're not your God. Who do you worship? Because anybody got all of you, definitely got your worship. Ain't gonna be no narc. I know that's not proper English, but that is the proper truth. There's not gonna be a narc. You're not gonna get everything I got to kill me. Come on now. We are in your corners, ladies, guys. We are here. We're lifting your arms up, and we can tell you you gonna make it. We're telling you you can't do this. We're telling you life is strong and powerful. We're telling you you may have to walk this road crying, snotting and crying. I'm telling you, it may feel like you have no energy. Drag a leg, roll your body, get freedom. Don't spend 50 years and have nothing to show for it but pain, because some people have done just that, and some people are doing just that. Well, hey guys, my time is up here. Yeah, my time is up. She said both Republican and Democratic parties hate who and what I am and what I came from. You know what, Nancy? And it's okay. You still got a voice, and you still being heard with your voice, and your voice still matters. It still matters. They only hate the truth, but you know the truth about Nancy. You make sure Nancy rise up. You make sure Nancy is built. You make sure every day Nancy knows who she is. You look in the mirror at yourself, and you look yourself in the face, and you talk to Nancy. You make sure that when you come out of that mirror, confidence is spelled with a capital C and end with a capital E, because you got to be confident and assured, because if you don't know who you are, people will tell you who you are, and that's not who you are at all. You're more than pain, you're more than the past, and you're more than what you've been through. I am the light. You know what, Nancy? I'm giving you a big high five, girl, all the way. Yes, you are. You're daddy's girls. She's a nice chatting with you guys. I'm going to bed finally this night. One, he's gone and getting my rest. Yay. Good girl. Let me tell you something. I appreciate you being with me. Those of you that are with me, I'm getting ready to do a private group. And if you want to spend time with me, I'm going to come on Zoom, and it's 2 hours of personal contact with me, answering your questions, getting a little more personal than I can get right here on YouTube. If you are interested in that, I want you to listen up for that, because I'm going to be on Zoom and I can tell you how to do it. Those of you, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. I'm going to have the flyer. So if you're interested, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be available for those. And then those that come on will be in a group, private group with me, where we will meet time to time and we will talk, and only people that are in this group will get the things that I give them. Not, it will not be on a public forum, and I would never speak the things that I speak in this group on a public forum. And I will tell you more about that as you write me. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Those of you who were saying, why didn't you ever do the teaching on about cleaning the house? Well, first of all, we got Christians, we have those who are in Shintoism, we have Buddhists, we have Muslim, we have different religions that are here on this forum. Not everybody is a Christian, so you can't tell other people how to clean a Christian house when they don't worship the way you worship. I don't tell them how to clean Shintoism in different places. And I needed enough believers that would say, I want this class in order for me to do it on Clubhouse. If you are on Clubhouse, join me on Clubhouse. Go and follow me on Clubhouse. Go to Destiny Helper, Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper on Clubhouse, and follow me. And when I come on, we can do that and we can go into a private group. Those of you who want that. So write me at Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. I have 3 invites that I'm willing to give away. So if you want an invite, I only have 3 left. I will give that away. Destiny Helper at 12, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. It is a privilege and an honor always to love on you and to be with you. Yes, email, write it out, Helen. Where is where is Danielle? Danielle, could you write that out for me? Danielle, could you write out my email? Or come on, somebody, write it out for me. Destiny Helper, Jesus Girl, write it out. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Destiny Helper, there's Danielle. There you go. Danielle got me. Yeah, Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. All right. So I want you to write me and say, hey, I want this Zoom class. I want this personal time with you. Let's do it. You'll get some personal time with me, 2 hours of personal time with me. And then I would be able to answer your question personally, deal with you on a personal basis, and we will all be face to face with each other. And then those of you that come to this Zoom class, we will have a private group class where we can communicate effectively with one another. And I will show you how that can happen. All right. I love you to life. Hey, Phoenix, how are you? I know you finally called me live and I'm getting ready to get off, but please go back and listen to this video. It's really going to bless you. I love your questions. I love the way you all stimulate me. Keep stimulating. It reminds me of a professor and the student. The professor is stimulated by the student. So those who stimulate the professor get things out of them that other people don't get. I love the way you all stimulate me. Thank you so much. You make my experience and my skills work for me. And thank you for those of you who are on that help me out. Your skills and what you've been through is a blessing. When people are on here and they hear your story, they hear your words, they hear your comments. I don't have it all, but together we got it all. And I appreciate every last one of you. Thank you so much. My hats are off to you, and I really appreciate you. And those of you who have not subscribed, please go to and subscribe to this channel and make sure you push that bell. Every time I upload new content, you will know about it. Every time I come on or we have a conference, you will know first. And then if you will leave me your email, email me and leave your email, leave your number. Sometime when God bring you across my mind, I'll call you. Just out of the blue, I'll call you no matter where I am in the world. Where God leads me to call, I will call you. And it is a blessing. All right. So subscribe to my YouTube channel, push that bell, and every time I come on, you will be a blessing. And I can be a blessing to you, and I will upload new content. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Remember Destiny Helper 12s if you're interested in the Zoom class. Me and you and us against all that is against us. And I tell you, we win every time because God has made us and we're fearfully and wonderfully made. I want you to get to know yourself. You're more powerful than you think. I want to say goodnight to you. And I love you with everything I have in me. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone. Okay, trying to find this. There you go.